Hey, this is Dot Ikorigel Acheru, and I am the owner and founder of Talk to Dot. At Talk to Dot, we spend time to create videos and awareness about domestic abuse and domestic violence. Now, I've been getting questions recently about, stuff like, why do people stay in an abusive relationship? Why don't they just leave? Abuse doesn't start from the first day. So initially, it starts off as a perfect relationship, the perfect man for that woman, and perfect everything. It takes a period of time. Once there is a level of commitment, then the abuse begins to be unleashed in gradual portions. So it starts by little things like, why do you need to go out? Or, well, that skirt is too short. The next time is going to be, that skirt is too short, it makes you look like a tramp. And then it begins to be switched the other way, that you begin to think that, well, maybe that person is right, maybe it's too much, maybe I have too much friends, or maybe the way they spoke to my partner is not right, maybe my friends are actually jealous. But all these things are manipulation. There is a massive tool in abuse, which is isolation. The idea of isolation is to break your social contact and your links, so that you don't have access to the world. Now, when you're not talking to your friends, you're not talking to your family, you're not talking to anyone, you're stuck. You're listening to one person feeding you the same information. It's like, do you understand? It's like, come on, even in the Bible, the animals that stared at the back of the tree, they gave birth to spotted animals. So to tell you that mind control is real, okay? The other thing you need to know is the abuser doesn't allow the victim to leave. Have you thought about that? What if it's a case of everywhere we go, we need to go to together? Everything we do, we need to do it together. So how is this person going to go anywhere? Oh, why didn't she talk about it? Why didn't she tell someone? Why didn't she reach out? Hello? They're being controlled, manipulated, and monitored. So their phone calls, have you thought about it, that before they could answer the phone call, they have to explain, who is this person? Have you thought about it, that all of a sudden a person, when you call them, they're like, yes, I'm okay, I'm fine. Okay, yes, yeah, no problem. But then when you call them at a different time, when potentially their partner is not there, like, hey, what's up? What's going on? When you notice these things, it's like there's something not right. You have to be able to spot it. Now, people who are being abused, the longer they stay in that relationship, the more they get degenerated, up to the point where they can't function. You have to understand that abuse on a victim is like being addicted to alcohol or any strong substance. Once you get roped in, it's difficult to bring yourself out, which is why you might wonder why they say to women who have walked out of abusive relationship, you are such a strong person. Do you know why? Because it is almost humanly impossible to walk out of it. They need to be removed, literally. And when you remove them from it, you need to understand, they're going to want to go back. And you're going to think, what's wrong with her? We just got her out and she's trying to go back. That's what it is. It's an addiction. You understand? A lot of people have suffered a lot of things in abuse. And it's another topic that I'll go into. So, picture a soldier who's been in war. But the fighting, the violence, the shooting, the noise, they're like, oh my goodness, I just want to go back home to my family. And they get back home to their family and they can't cope in the normal world, that they just want to go back to war. PTSD. That's what happens to a lot of people. They've taught themselves to survive in hypervigilance, in an environment that is not right. They've literally had to restructure their brains to be able to function in an abusive environment. So when you bring them out of it, it's difficult for them to cope. Now, if you're being abused, know that it is not your fault and you are not alone. Talk to someone. And hang on, if you're being abused, you're going to talk to anyone because your life is being monitored. So let's switch it. If you know someone that potentially doesn't seem right, you need to find a way to help them. And remember, it is never your fault if you're being abused. Find a way. Do some research. Pick yourself up. You need, sincerely, to find help. Talk to Dot. One love. Remember, they know the right domestic abuse for face. And they know the right term for the man face as well. You have to understand that abusers, they're the best people ever. And guess what? Even men get abused. So that's the fact. Even men get abused. Rescue someone who's being abused before it gets to the stage where either they get killed or they kill the person. Everyone has a breaking point. If you push a goat to the wall, at some point, that goat is going to turn around and bite you. When you push goat go wall, one day the goat go vex. He go bite because he don't know anything else to do to survive himself. This is Dottie Korigalachiru. One love. You can make it. And you're a survivor. You can survive now. Yeah, you're not a victim. You're a survivor. Change your mind. They got into you. They got into your head, into your life, by your head, by your mind. If you renew your mind and you change the way you see yourself, that's the first stage of freedom. Remember, emancipate yourself from mental slavery. It's in the head. You're not a victim. You are the strongest person ever. You're a survivor. Survive.